Hi, everybody. We're so glad that you are able to be with us today. And I just want to let you know whoever invited you, it's truly because they care about you. They love you and you matter to them. And this is just, we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to share some stories of hope. And what we're going to do is tell you about something that we're so thankful that somebody loved us enough to share with us. And it is a product called Juice Plus. And I'm just going to show you what's in it. We have a fruit, vegetable, and a vineyard. And you can see there the fruit, all of those amazing fruits. We've got the vegetables and the berries. And combined, you are getting 30 vine-ripened raw fruits and vegetables every day. And we are assured of their quality. We're assured what's in the product is truly there. It's NSF certified. It's gluten-free. And it's non-GMO. We're just so thrilled that the technology has come about to be able to do this. And basically, it's just powdered produce. And you can get it in a capsule or a gummy. And I do want to show you one thing that we're very thankful that it's different. There's a nutrition label. It's not a supplement. It's just food. That's all it is. And, there's not one of us that can't benefit from adding more fruits and vegetables. We're supposed to have 7 to 13 servings. Well, I don't know about you, but that is so hard. And if you're a mom, it's just so difficult. And we're going to hear from some moms today that have been able to trash that mommy guilt. And so I'm so thrilled to be able to introduce you and be able to share some stories with you. And Sarah Rawson, I want to hear from you.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. Well, I learned about Juice Plus almost 7 years ago. And at the time, my oldest daughter was 2, and we were just struggling keeping her healthy. And on top of that, she was a very picky eater. So there'd be days we couldn't get her to eat anything at all. And so when I learned about Juice Plus, I knew immediately it was something that she could benefit from. And so we got her started. And in the first month, we noticed that she was fighting her illnesses quicker. And over time, she started to drink more water and eat more fruits and vegetables. And so that's really when the light bulb came on for me, and I realized that it was great that my 2-year-old was getting healthy, but who was going to take care of her if her parents were sick? And I'm not talking about strep throat or coughs or colds, but chronic disease, because my family history is filled with things like cancer and stroke and heart disease and obesity. So what do I potentially have in my future, and what am I passing down to my children? And so I came to my sweet husband and I said, I really want us to take Juice Plus. And he just kind of looked at me and said, well, that's great, but you need to find a way to pay for it. And he wasn't being ugly. He was just being authentic. We had no wiggle room in our budget. I was a former teacher and now stay-at-home mom. And so, we just really couldn't afford to add it. And so I went to my sweet friend and I said, what do I need to do to offset the cost? Because I really want to take Juice Plus. And so she shared with me that for $50, I could join the company and share with the people that I loved and cared about, and then I could take Juice Plus. So that's what I did. And when I started taking it, I noticed in the first month that I was sleeping better. I never considered myself to have a sleeping problem, but I was waking up fully alert, not needing that cup of coffee anymore. And then over time, my arthritis in my shoulder went away and my allergies subsided. And every year we noticed more and more changes. And I was able to take Juice Plus as my sole prenatal for my second daughter, Hannah. And I felt confident doing that because it's just food and it has the NSF certification and the research behind it. And I had such a healthy pregnancy, and she is just the picture of health. She fights her illnesses quickly, and she just has such a wide variety of fruits and vegetables that she loves. And I'm so grateful that I gave her this nutrition from the womb. And so, at first I was offsetting my cost, and that was great. But then I started earning a little bit extra, which was even better. And then I started giving my husband that financial pressure. I started taking that off of him. And then we were able to start saying yes to more things as a family. And, so we were able to take trips to Disney the last 3 years. And, we just have a lot more financial flexibility. And today I'm so grateful that I said yes to this mission, because every day I wake up to passion and purpose, to impact somebody else's life through good nutrition. But then also my youngest daughter is getting ready to go to kindergarten next year. And normally that would be the time for me to go back to teaching. But because the income that I bring home with the Juice Plus company has already surpassed what I made as a full-time teacher, I get to continue to be at home as a mom, all while earning an income. So I'm so grateful that I said yes to this product. It's blessed our family's health tremendously, but I'm also grateful that I said yes to this mission, because our family will never be the same. So thank you, Melissa, for letting me share.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Well, just hold on. You've got one more really great story, and I want to introduce Trish Kiger.
Hey, good morning. So I first found out about Juice Plus about 8 years ago when a dear friend of mine reached out and invited me to a wellness event. Well, that invitation turned out to be such a gift in my life, because what my friend didn't realize was that I had just spent the last 4 months in and out of doctor's offices, even having exploratory surgery for this terrible abdominal pain. It all started one Saturday morning when I got really sick, was rushed to the emergency room in an ambulance, and had the worst abdominal pain in my life. And the really sad part of this story was that 4 months later, after all of those trips to the doctor, I didn't have any answers. I had no diagnosis and only a drawer full of prescription pain pills, because people believed that I really was in pain and they knew that I needed help, but we just didn't have any answers. So all of this was actually going on while I was serving as a principal of a very small elementary school. And during that time, there were days when my teachers would come out into the hall and they would hug me and say, "Go home." They saw how much pain I was in. They knew that it was so difficult for me to come to work every day. And that was just a very trying, scary, and frustrating time. So when I first went to this event, I learned that Juice Plus was literally just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And on a very practical level, it totally appealed to me, because I knew that I wasn't getting enough fruits and vegetables on my own every day. But honestly, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, what if this is going to help? What if this is going to help? So when we first got started, to my great surprise and to my incredible relief, I started finding relief from pain within the first couple of months. So now that I have 8 years of experience of having this incredible nutrition in my body, and I've learned what the research has taught us, I know that a huge part of what I was struggling with was inflammation. And we know that the research points us back to the fact that Juice Plus taken daily really does reduce inflammation in the body. So I was just so encouraged that from Juice Plus and it being the catalyst that helped me get my health back, we did some research and we found a doctor who absolutely knows the value of nutrition and uses nutrition to help people recover. So I am so incredibly grateful for that moment when that invitation came to me to go and learn about the power of food. So now, one of my greatest joys is being a part of this community and sharing my story. And it is my hope that anytime I share my experience, that it will encourage someone else, that it will help them start their own journey of learning about the power of food. And I am so thankful to wake up every day, just like Sarah just shared, to passion and purpose, being able to help families flood their bodies with incredible nutrition every single day. So Melissa, I want to thank you for being that friend that reached out and shared even when you had no idea where I was or what I was going through. I am so, so grateful for that.
Oh, wow. Okay, having to choke back the tears just a little bit. I'm just so thankful, and I'm so thankful. Who knew that food was so powerful? You know, I had no idea that food was either had the power to build you up or tear you down. But because of this amazing product in this community, that's something that I've been so honored to be able to learn. And just keep going. We've got more stories. So I've got one more from, well, two more, but the next one is Jamie Memmering.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on today. I'm always really grateful to be able to share my story. Sharing means everything, because 3.5 years ago, the beautiful woman in front of you, Melissa, shared with me. That's my mama. And when we met, she shared Juice Plus and Whole Food Nutrition with me. And it made a huge difference. I was already on my own health journey. I was already very health conscious. But my youngest daughter, Addison, was born and released from the hospital as a newborn without a bowel movement. And it started her off on an incredible, terrible health journey. She was on Miralax and enemas daily for every day of her life for the first 3 years. Because of her poor gut health, she suffered from chronic infections. She had her first ear infection at 3 weeks old. She was at the doctor's office every month of her life and on antibiotics every month of her life for 3 years. She was on nonstop steroids. She developed seasonal allergies that she took multiple medications for daily, year-round. She developed eczema, would bleed from scratching so badly, and even has scarring from it. But at 3 years old, she started with severe behavior problems. And the doctors wanted to start testing her for spectrum disorders and potentially getting her on medication. And I just wasn't ready. And so I did what I know. I'm a science nerd at heart, and I went to the research. And because of that, I started my family on a drastic diet change, and we removed all artificial food colors, processed sugars, pretty much unnatural ingredients from our diet. We ate process-free. And although things weren't completely better, things improved. Addison's health improved a lot. But since adding Juice Plus to her diet, Addison no longer takes a single medication. She doesn't suffer from seasonal allergies, and we live in the Midwest on a farm. She doesn't take any medications for that. She doesn't have eczema anymore, and she is a swimmer every single day. Her behavior problems are now a thing of the past. But the best news is my daughter can poop. She, from the very first weekend of eating the Juice Plus chewables, has not had a dose of Miralax or an enema since. Now, my own health journey is a little bit different, and I will be celebrating my 11th year of recovery from an eating disorder this December. I suffered from anorexia and bulimia, and I damaged my body pretty severely with malnutrition, overexercise, and purging. And because of that, I suffered from esophageal damage, severe GERD, hormone imbalance, endometriosis, gum and dental problems, muscle deterioration, arthritis, bone density problems. The list just goes on, depression, anxiety. I was already on a very slow but strong recovery path with my nutrition and my exercise. But since adding Juice Plus to my diet, I also no longer take a single medication for anything that I listed. I don't have GERD anymore. I don't suffer from arthritis pain. I don't have to have any more surgeries for my endometriosis. My health is the best it's ever been in my life, and all because somebody shared with me and was persistent, because I am a very skeptical person, and because I thought I was very healthy and living a very healthy lifestyle, I didn't think I needed it. But as you've heard, adding nutrition to your body is going to benefit everybody. And although I was eating healthy and living right, I wasn't eating enough, and neither was my daughter. And so Juice Plus has truly given us freedom. It's given us freedom from fear of getting sick. We no longer feel chained to the doctor's office or even to our home out of fear of going out and getting sick. We no longer feel imprisoned by our medical bills. It's given us financial freedom. Like the others have stated, I can now give my husband some financial freedom. I now make more money than I did as a full-time social worker in the hospital. And although it didn't happen overnight, and I work hard at it, this job, this mission of sharing health has given me passion. It has allowed me to use my training as a social worker. It's given me purpose. It's given our family time freedom, and it's truly allowed us to live with a lot more joy.
Thank you, Jamie. I love that. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I have one more story to share with you before I kind of share why I'm so passionate. So I'm so thrilled to be able to introduce to you Tracelyn Cook.
Good morning. Thank you. I will have to say I'm a tad bit nervous, but I'm so excited to share my Juice Plus story. I had gone to Melissa. I knew that she was involved with Juice Plus, and I had wanted to talk to her about my daughter's health. My youngest daughter, Abby, was a dancer, competitive dancer, and she was very active, but she just didn't eat healthy at all. She did chicken fingers, French fries, and chocolate all the time. And so I knew she wasn't healthy, so I went to Melissa to find out exactly what Juice Plus was. And finally, it took us several months to get together, but I sat down in her kitchen, and she explained to me that fruits and vegetables, that Juice Plus was just fruits and vegetables in a capsule or gummy form. And to be honest with you, I had a really hard time with wrapping my brain around that. I just couldn't exactly figure that out. But she was so sweet in explaining it to me, just saying it's just fruits and vegetables, it's in a gummy or capsule form. And I even sat there and asked her, I said, okay, Abby takes Lexapro, so can she take this? And she just so sweetly patted my hand and said, yes, it's just like if she sat down in a salad bar and she ate a really great meal. And so I was like, okay, I think we can do this then. And she showed me the nutrition label. And I mean, I just sat there. I just still couldn't figure out, okay, this is not a supplement. It's not a vitamin. It was just really hard for me to understand. But I'm a budgeter by nature and a couponer by nature. So I said, can I be a distributor? And she said, yes, you can. It's $50. You can be a distributor. You could be your own customer. And Abby can get it for free for 4 years if you take it. So for me, that was a no-brainer. So I thought, okay, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to take this. I'll let Abby take it. But I'm not doing this as a business. I've been there, done that before, and I'm not going down that road again. So I came home that day and just showed Abby. I said, okay, this is what you're going to be taking. I even sat down and put it on Facebook really quick and said, okay, the proof is going to be in the pudding because I'm not sure about this product here. But another thing that Melissa had said was that her cravings may change and she might start craving some fruits and vegetables, and don't be surprised about that. And I really didn't believe that at all. So within 2 weeks, Abby came in and said, Mom, you'll never guess what I'm craving. And I said, what? She said, a salad. And I was completely shocked. And I said, okay, well, let's go with Thousand Island as your dressing, because she didn't even know what dressing that she wanted. So she started eating salad. She started drinking more water. She started she started eating more fruit instead of chocolate. And I just noticed that her cravings started changing. She started trying guacamole, which she never would have done in the past. And because of the changes in her brother and sister noticed, so they wanted to start taking it. As far as I was concerned, I had started having hot flashes really, really bad. And so my hot flashes subsided. I was mentally more alert when I woke up in the morning. I didn't need that first morning cup of coffee. And so my husband started noticing those changes. So he said, well, let me start taking it. So he started taking it. Matt started getting it free as well. So it was just within one short month, we had become just a Juice Plus family. I will say this, though. I don't think I really knew exactly what the product was doing for us until a few months later. I had mentioned that Abby was on Lexapro, but she was on Lexapro because she had panic attacks and she suffered from anxiety. And that had started when she was in the 5th grade, and it was just completely out of the blue one day. She had a panic attack at a friend's house, and she called us absolutely terrified. I went and got her, and my daughter that had been happy and laughed all the time and smiled all the time was literally gone overnight. She was terrified of everything, and it was just separation anxiety. So I started going to school with her every single day, and I would work in the library, or I would sub, or work in the office, but that just became our normal. I just went to school with her every day. And over the years, that's just how our life became. I was with her all the time. I'd stopped traveling with Brian, and so he would travel with work, and I would stay at home. So when Juice Plus entered her life, she was a junior in high school at the time. And so it had been 7 years that we had been battling this. But I started noticing that she wouldn't text me as much throughout the day, and she wouldn't come home right after school, and she would go to ball games and wouldn't come home immediately. She would start going out to eat with friends, which she had never really done before. And so I just noticed some changes in her. And Melissa had mentioned that there was a Juice Plus conference coming up, and could I go? And I knew I couldn't go because, like I said, I didn't travel. I hadn't traveled in 7 years. Brian and I couldn't even go away together. And I thought, you know what, I'm noticing some changes in her. Maybe I could do this. So I asked her one day, I said, Abby, do you think maybe I could go to this conference and maybe Dad could go with me? And she stood there for a minute and she said, Mom, I think you can. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, because my shadow is gone. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, my anxiety and fear was always like a shadow that followed me. And my medication would keep it at bay, but it always was with me. And she said, but Mom, my shadow's gone. And I was just shocked. I just couldn't believe it, because the only thing that we added was Juice Plus. It was just fruits and vegetables in the capsule. We had added that to her daily diet, and her chemical makeup had totally changed. And I'm more emotional today because, and the ladies don't even know this, but She is now a sophomore at Lee, and she's in the nursing program, and she's living on campus. But we just went to see her doctor this last week, and she has continued on her Lexapro, but she's just been taking it sporadically. And her doctor told her, she said, Abby, you can get off of this. So she is now completely medication free as of last week. And she is taking Juice Plus regularly. As a matter of fact, she came to the house just a couple of days ago just to get more Juice Plus because she had run out, and now all her roommates are taking it. And so Juice Plus has truly changed our lives, and it's changed her life. And I think, and for me, on the flip side was that I never intended to do this as a business, but like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so when they were out of the nest, I was wondering, who am I? And I'm still a mom, but where do I go from here? What do I do? So Juice Plus has given me a purpose. It's a mission, something I'm excited. I wake up every morning. I get so excited when somebody calls me and wants to know about Juice Plus because I know what it did for our family. And so I'm so excited for what it can do for them. So I would say Juice Plus has given me a new lease on life. It's given me a new purpose. And so thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing with me and loving me enough.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Can you believe this is what I get to do? And I wanted to kind of share with you why I'm so passionate and why I'm just so thankful that somebody loved me enough and somebody was brave enough to share with me. And I heard about Juice Plus almost 8 years ago, and I heard one phrase that totally changed everything for me. And that one phrase was, with Juice Plus, you can get new red blood cells. You may say, why was that such a big deal to you? That's not that big a deal. Well, the reason that was such a big deal to me was I have this horrible dark cloud that hangs over me of horrible DNA. Just my mom alone had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, colon cancer, and ovarian cancer that took her life. And, I wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong with me. But when you know that that's in your DNA, it feels ominous. It feels very ominous. Well, the reason that was such a monumental day for me, my husband of almost 25 years had just died an hour and a half before. I was literally on my way out to pick out his casket. And a very brave person shared with us, our family, that day. She just said, I loved you too much to not share with you. So we literally added Juice Plus immediately. I had no idea. I had never even seen, like the slide we showed you of what was in Juice Plus. I'd never even seen a bottle. I didn't know what was in it. I just knew new red blood cells. But we immediately added it. My son was in college, and when my husband died, my son was 19 and my daughter was 16. So my son was in college. I had no idea what he was eating. My daughter was living with me, but she didn't have a great diet. And we immediately added it. I noticed that I woke up alert. I noticed that my energy levels were up, but I really wasn't focusing on that. Remember, I was just trying to survive life. But I started noticing all these changes. And over time, I've suffered with chronic sinus infections my entire life, especially my adult life, but I noticed those were gone. I noticed I had more energy in the afternoon. I wasn't, feeling sluggish, but I felt mentally alert. That brain fog was gone. I can't explain what a gift that was to me. And I have to be honest, this makes me sound really shallow, but food to me was going to make me fat or skinny. I had no idea the power. I heard one phrase, 75% of all diseases can be prevented through good nutrition. I had never heard that. That was 7.5 years ago. Now that's much more prevalent. But I started thinking, okay, why didn't somebody love my family enough to share Juice Plus with us? During our journey, my daughter started craving things that she couldn't even stand the smell of, like celery. I noticed that my cravings were changing. But I was never going to share this and that. Now when I say that, it makes me feel so selfish to say that. But I wasn't going to share. Do you mean to tell you why? I didn't want to be that woman that we all run from at the grocery store. I didn't want anybody to think I was selling anything. But I found out I had friends that were not only on Juice Plus, that were distributors. To their defense, they had no idea what this gift was. They had no idea. But I just said, how could you know and not tell me? So that's why when I welcomed you today, I just said, whoever invited you, they invited you just because they love you. Because now I am literally more afraid of someone coming to me and saying, how could you know and not share with me, than I ever am thinking that somebody thinks that I'm trying to sell them something. So I did say yes to this mission, and I am so thankful. And this is where I get so emotional. Morally and ethically, I have to share this product. But now, morally and ethically, I have to share this business and this opportunity, because somebody was faithful with me and patient with me to allow me to see. And now, every day, I wake up to passion and purpose. You know, I've been a widow almost 8 years, but 3.5 years ago, the Lord brought the most amazing gift to me. My husband's name is Mike Quayle. That's his daughter, Jamie, that shared earlier. But I had this gift of this amazing product to give to him. It's totally transformed his health. And now we are both on this mission to inspire healthy living, to help families get healthier. But not only that, to help families to get this financial pressure, that weight off them financially. I am just so thankful that somebody loved me enough to share this product. And I just want to invite you, whoever invited you on this call, whoever invited you to listen, talk to them. Just ask them, what is, after hearing all these stories, I'm sure you're probably thinking, wow, you had Juice Plus, you're going to immediately walk on water. That's not what we're saying. I had someone ask me one day, Melissa, you act like Juice Plus is a miracle. And I said, well, to me, it was where I was. But no, Juice Plus can never promise to treat, cure, or prevent anything. But in my mind, I can't help but think, what if we would have known when my late husband was fighting cancer? What if we would have known even before he was diagnosed? You don't feel prevention, but you don't feel deterioration till it's too late. So we would love to invite you to find out a little bit more about this amazing product. God put Adam and Eve in the garden for a purpose. I think he was trying to tell us something. And we've gotten so far away from that, unfortunately. But we just want to thank you so much for taking this time. And oh my goodness, can you believe you got to spend such amazing time with these amazing women, and for them to be able to share their stories with us today. So thank you so much for listening, and just let us know what you would love to learn more about Juice Plus.